Something isekai, yada yada history. You know, whatever, find out why it's popular. I'm sort of out of ways to half-ass this intro, and that's when you know you're running out of ideas. So today we're looking at something a little different. Rather than digging into an isekai proper, I thought it might be fun to look at a thing bred purely on the absurd popularity the genre has conceived. To this point, I've looked at what individual isekais have given the genre as a whole and their impact in shaping it, dents and all. But now I want to look at how isekai is impacting the medium of anime, as it's branching out from itself into some self-aware Chibi 4-Koma style parody series that mashes an innumerable number for the average isekai fan, by my count 4 different protagonists to see what would happen when turning their power fantasies into plain text comedy. A never before embarked upon crossover event that shook the internet to its very core. Today we're looking at validation by an industry and an anime critic's worst nightmare, acknowledging that isekai deserves to exist. That's right, this one's about Isekai Quartet. Yes, in this video series about isekai as a genre, we're looking at a show about isekai as a cult of personality rather than an actual isekai. So, Isekai Quartet, the brainchild of Minoru Ashina, who wrote and directed the series. I usually talk about the adaptation process, how it started from a web novel, went to a light novel, and eventually ended up in an anime, but that's sort of moot here as there was no original to adapt. All the characters in this series are from separate properties, produced by different studios and from different writers. Weird how this crossover actually came together then, right? What's the commonality? Well, what they do share in common is Kadokawa, a massive media conglomerate in Japan publishing books, movies, games, and of course television anime. Chances are, if you're into some niche entertainment in Japan, Kadokawa's had its hands on something you've consumed with a net worth of over $2 billion US. And being that Kadokawa has licensed so goddamn many series, happen to have a piece of some of the largest isekai properties to date with Konosuba, Re:Zero, Overlord, and Tanya the Evil. With that, they threw Studio Buyukai under the bus. I mean, behind the wheel of helming one of the largest undertakings in anime history. A crossover event that would put the MCU to shame, if you cared more about anime and wanted comedy over epic world building. They don't have much under their belt besides this and an Overlord spin-off, which at least shows a familiarity as well as a knack for producing such content. So, what is Isekai Quartet? Well, it's almost an experiment looking at what sort of natural comedy would flow when you shove these sort of Chubio-esque characters into each other's company. Except they actually have the power to back it up. Clashing personalities like Aqua and Ainz immediately fall into conflict due to their roles, and that's what people are watching something like this for. They really want to see that conversation between Kazuma and Subaru about being transported to another world and what the fuck that was actually like. Yeah, inter-series conflict and each character having a serious case of main characteritis. That's part commentary and love letter to the genre and these shows. Why it works is because it's not so much using the tropes of isekai, but the personalities of some of the most popular and well-developed isekai properties in Kadokawa's repertoire. It showcases some of the best parts, which leads into how this funnels people into the franchises on display. Strangely enough, the personalities of each of these characters only seem slightly flanderized to punch up the humor, which is to be expected when turning 3 very serious and 1 parody into a slice-of-life comedy. The short runtime keeps it from growing stale too. Showed the writer here wasn't just familiar, but cared in crafting this series, which was needed to succeed in its goal. Honestly, for tropes, the only thing this one has is the fact that they're all re-isekai'd into another world. One that's basically just modern-day Japan, where they all came from in the first place. Because this is less of what we think is modern isekai, and it's really here just to celebrate it. But why this? Why go through the trouble of putting together 4 different universes for a simple chibi comedy series? Well, with over 16 million books sold between all 4 franchises, I think the answer's obvious. It serves a number of purposes, capitalizing on its already booming isekai market with the cheap production that's easy to produce. Looking at the animation studio's record, the production budget was certainly on the lower end, even if it was, in some sense, an original property. But also drawing interest back to these franchises as Kadokawa ramps up production for newer releases. Konosuba dropped a movie in summer 2019, while this aired in spring that year. Tanya dropped a movie in the season previous, Re:Zero's getting a season 2 in spring 2020, and Overlord's confirmed to have a season 4 dropping in 2020 as well. This is an easy way to keep these series relevant in their long hiatuses between content releases for their eager anime fans. Konosuba, Re:Zero, and Tanya were on drought since 2017, and Overlord had dropped something only a few seasons previous. It keeps a property fresh in the minds of anime fans, while also driving viewers to investigate the other series involved if they weren't checking them out already. Hell, to get myself prepared for this video, I had to watch Overlord and Tanya so I wouldn't be lost. Not that that was actually necessary, but I didn't know going into it, and also to wring out a few more YouTube dollars in an effort to put off Sword Art Online for a bit longer. That's besides the point. It's working. By throwing these properties together, it encourages viewers to be in the know. One of the most common fears people have in this day and age is missing out on something relevant to their interests. And seeing your favorite isekai protagonist, I'm guessing Kazuma due to his dry wit, palling around with these other characters makes you more inclined to view their franchises, so you're more prepared for the misadventures they'll embark on in this short fix. Or for newer viewers, seeing this sort of crossover makes people more inclined to watch a series they otherwise wouldn't simply due to the novelty of such a premise. The series wasn't a stunning success compared to the parts that make it up. Selling close to 2,000 volumes in its first week puts it in about the center of the pack for sales figures, and as a series it exists mostly to drive viewers to the mainline properties and boost merch sales. Its selling well in of itself wasn't the goal, but a way to capitalize on established popularity while waiting for Tanya, Re:Zero, Overlord, and Konosuba to develop more. Like a reminder. To further illustrate that it was, in fact, a success in doing so, a Season 2 was made, adding to the cast with Shield Hero, which I'm not currently looking at because Season 1 encapsulates my point well enough. And by this thing's sheer existence, I feel it demonstrates that Isekai isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It still makes money, has spin-off potential, and has fans hungry for more. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do all the other YouTube things to help the channel grow. You can also join my Discord with a link down in the description. And if you really want to support me, you can head on over to my Patreon and get added perks like voting on what I do next. Thanks for watching.